Hey guys, I think that should be working now. I just thought I'd pop up quickly on this side of the camera and say hello, happy weekend. I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm just going to jump in and do some really loose drawing on a big sheet of paper, pushing a bit of charcoal around. And yeah, feel free to join in if you like. I'll get the camera turned around in a second and set that up for you, if I can switch that around. That's it. Taped up and ready to go. It's a mixed media paper. Try not to wobble that about too much and make you all feel seasick. And it's on the easel, which I hope I've put up firmly enough, because if it collapses halfway through, that would be so embarrassing. I'm just going to check that it's actually okay. I think it's all right. Yeah, I think we're okay. We're ready to start. So I'm going to use some really chunky, can you see okay there? Some really chunky charcoal sticks. And as I said in the last post, it's been quite a tough week. And what I feel the need for right now is just a little bit of relaxation. So bear with me a second while I just share this stream into my page as well. And then we'll start some drawing. There we go. We're just about there. Okay. So I am using, the only thing I can't see is if there's any comments. So I'll have to stop every now and then and just see if anyone's actually watching. I've got these amazing, where's the lid? I'll show you the lid. The extra large charcoal sticks, which is why I grabbed a massive sheet of paper, because they're big and chunky. Not a massive sheet, but are bigger than sketchbook size. And because I'm feeling kind of a little bit strung out, the plan is to just create a peaceful, calm portrait. I'm not using a reference, but the main thing is that I just enjoy, as soon as I start, it just makes me feel happier. Just pushing the charcoal around and making some marks with this. I've got a little bit of white paint to hand as well, which I may or may not add on. I'm going to keep this really loose and messy, and I don't know, just really enjoy some relaxed time. Creating one of those pages which I don't have any intention of necessarily even finishing it. It'll just be done when it's done. This is just the loveliest charcoal to use. The paper's not primed, so it's very powdery. It's not sinking into the paper, which I kind of quite like. Just going to layer some on top of each other there. See, so I'm just switching over, making sure that the camera is actually working, which it is. Thank goodness, I'm not completely talking to myself. This is probably my favourite colour in these. It's like a really deep chocolatey kind of purple. I'm just using that to block in roughly eye sockets. I just want this to be kind of calming and soothing, so I'm probably going to close those eyes. and create a kind of a relaxed, laid back expression here. Just letting it get really messy. It's really just freeing to work so loosely and randomly without a plan. I'm going to use all of these, probably the other than the brown, because I'm liking these warm tones. So I'm coming in now with some black. It's lovely to have that movement, to have the easel and be standing at it. Quite often I sit if I'm going to be painting for a long time. But when you're using kind of nice big chunky tools like this, it's lovely to stand. Just suggesting some features there for now, so I'm not quite sure where they're going to be. Only thing in my plan right now is that these eyes are going to be closed. Well, again, that could change, but that's sort of where my head is at right now. So I'm going to just use my hand to blend some of this in. And then go back in with the charcoal again. Just let the background be loose and messy. Thank you, Dee. Hi there. Just pushing these colours around and playing on this bit of paper. Just feel the stresses and the, I don't know, the pressures of the week fade away. It's such a good feeling. I'm not normally I live a busy life by choice, but I'd say I'm normally someone who suffers particularly from stress. But this week has had its challenges, let's just say that. This year has had its challenges, in all fairness. And this week has added to some of that. So I can feel, because this is mixed media paper, it's quite smooth, and I can feel already that I'm kind of loading the paper with pigments. I'm not going to get a lot more on here unless I add something else to the paper that will give it a coating, and then I'd be able to add some more charcoal on top. I kind of feel like I'm just going to play around with the charcoal, and the only paint I've got to hand is a little bit of white paint, just to pull out, because I didn't want to be, because I wanted to work really loosely. I didn't want to be thinking, oh, I've got to leave that white and not, worry about leaving highlights too much. So I'm going to pull them out at the end rather than try to sculpt them in with the charcoal, if that makes sense. Hi, Scarlett. Well, thank you. I really hope that these little live sessions just, I don't know, inspire. I always get really inspired when I see other people working. So it would be fantastic if these little live sessions actually inspire other people to grab some tools and have a go, just for the fun of it. Just for the satisfaction of getting these really messy hands and feeling it, do compare using charcoal with sculpting, even though I'm not a sculptress by any means. But you do feel like you're kind of carving out shapes. I'm hoping everyone can see, because I can't, because of the angle, I can't actually, unless I move back, and that puts me out of the way. Oh, that's cool. I hope I do inspire you to paint. That's really satisfying to hear. And wow, just showing up here. Whoops, a messy finger there. Just showing up here and just seeing that people are here and enjoying it has given me the lift that I needed. And after, like I say, a really long week, I'm kind of tired. I'm hungry, but dinner's not ready, so that's fine because I've got to do this and wait for my dinner. So it's kind of made me show up because I'd made that promise to myself that I was going to, and once I said it on Facebook that I was going to, I kind of had to show up, and actually I knew that it would be the best way to finish up my day. It's kind of at that point where there's a little voice telling me, like, don't overdo this now, because this gentle suggestion of who's in this image, this suggestion of soft, calm expression is almost there. And if I add too much more, I could lose it. And when you're painting, that's okay, because you can usually fix it. But if I get too carried away here now, it's gone. It's okay, you know, I'm here to play. If I screw it up, then, well, if I screw it up, I'll be doing it in public, so I guess that's not so good, but it's kind of all right as well. Because at some point on the video, there will be a record of when I reached that point, that little sweet spot where I should have stopped and didn't. So, just going to keep going until it feels like I should stop. And if I overwork it and I go past that point, well, there you go. It's just going to teach me a lesson, isn't it? Thank you. That was my aim for this to be just serene and peaceful for me as well. I kind of needed that today. So I'm just going to wipe my fingers a little bit. They're not clean, but they'll be less black. Maybe use that tissue to lift that out rather than try and do it with my completely black fingers. Now I feel like there's a decision coming up here to, do I add paint and completely change the whole vibe of this? Or do I just refine with, this is lovely, this white charcoal. I didn't think I'd be able to get much more on the paper, but it's coming in okay. So I feel like I don't want it to be too refined. I like that she's really gentle. What do we think? Do I go in with a little bit of paint, or is the softness of this, the way she's kind of just coming out, that little bit of mystery? No, I feel like the paint doesn't need to come out. Good. Scarlett agrees. I'm going with that. I don't need paint. I don't need to tighten this up, right? It's sometimes when you're standing over something, you kind of get lost in what you think you should do. I might just have to suggest an ear either side. I don't want to define it too much. And I love creating faces where the hair flows upwards. Straight away I knew that was what I wanted to do on this, was just have this kind of upward flow happening. So I think those ears are quite even, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it because, you know, no one's measuring, right? So if you feel inspired to paint this weekend or any time, please do share what you're doing in the group. I really love when people share what they're working on, and also share it when it doesn't work too, because those are the ones that you learn the most from. For me anyway. The pieces that you wish you'd done differently, or you added the wrong medium, wish you didn't go too far. Hi Anita, hey! There's an artist I admire. Anita's portrait work is amazing. It's a beautiful kind of juicy ochre colour. It's surprising how much you can actually, how much detail you can create with these big chunky sticks. Hey Jack. Thank you. Trying to keep my eyes on the paper so that I don't lose where I'm going with this, but also kind of leaning back and peeking into my phone just to respond to you guys. You take the time to comment. I don't like to feel like I'm not answering. I think we'll just bring some white in there and thank you. Thanks, Anita. Really appreciate that. I feel like this is actually doing me so much good today. If there's anyone watching who's kind of starting out or is interested in trying different approaches and techniques, I should mention, little sales pitch now. It's not a sales pitch because what I was going to mention is I have free classes on my site. I'll leave a link afterwards, but it's there in the group description as well. Sujati Art Studio on Teachable. And there are, if you enroll there, if you join there, you will see there are at least 3 classes that are completely free to enroll on. And they're exactly the same as all the others. Lifetime access, you can watch as many times as you like. And you can enroll there for absolutely nothing. If you do, share some results here if you're feeling brave. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that. I just get such a thrill when people show me something that they've created from one of my classes. So. I use acrylics a lot myself, Scarlett as well. Sorry, Charlotte. I don't know who Charlotte is. But these, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to get my hands in and messy. So these were my go-to tonight. I'm going to get just a little charcoal stick. Some willow charcoal. Just to refine. I want to keep this looking quite loose, and I kind of like the effect of her just emerging from the page. And I feel like I've managed to achieve. Sometimes you start a painting or a drawing or whatever, and you have an idea of what you want to achieve, and it goes completely away from you. So I feel quite pleased that this has actually achieved what I was planning. Doesn't mean that if something goes a different way that I'm always unhappy with it, and quite often it goes a different way and I'm like, wow, I never knew that was going to happen, and it's all part of the adventure. But I wanted calm and I wanted to express that. But I also, because I was feeling quite tense, I suppose, I didn't want to be working fine and tiny, so to be messy and get my hands in and just play around. That was needed as well. I have to leave the room. I'll need to open the door with my elbow as I leave, because otherwise there's going to be charcoal everywhere. And I go and clean my hands up. I think maybe I absolutely needed to let my energy into it, Scarlett. You're right. You're absolutely right. And it needed to be with no pressure. If this had just turned into a page covered in marks and squirrels, and and I'd still come away with my hands messy and not feeling like I'd actually created an image, that would have been fine too. Because the first thing I felt as soon as I started a few minutes ago, I don't know how long ago now, I'm not watching the clock, I don't know how long I've been here, but as soon as I started pushing that charcoal onto the paper, just those first few strokes, the feel and the sound, probably sounds weird, but like the sound of the charcoal on the paper just made me really happy. So I think if I don't stop here, I'm in danger of just refining this too far. So what's my temptation is now to go and get like some fine chalk and add some detailing, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay with these chunky ones because they keep it loose, and they've created almost a ghostly kind of image. So I think I'm just going to leave her there as she is. And thank her for just appearing and making me feel about 1,000,000 times better than I did when I set up that blank sheet of paper half an hour ago. It's amazing. Magic. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. If you do feel inspired to kind of get messy and play, sketch, draw, share your paintings, please do share them in the group. Let us know what you're doing. it's really important for me to have this this community and for everyone to feel comfortable joining in and playing, because that's what it's all about. I'm probably going to seal that with a spray. I tend to use I kind of don't want to clean them up. I love it. I tend to use on this kind of thing because it's not precious. I'm not going to finish it, but I kind of want to keep it because it turns out I quite like it. A very cheap hairspray. Don't use an expensive one because it's got conditioners and stuff like that in it, and it will leave a sheen and it could make your paper greasy. But a cheap hairspray, because it's charcoals, they're not highly pigmented, so it won't affect the colours, and that will seal it enough if you want to put it away in a folder or inside a sketchbook. I usually put a piece of tracing paper over it as well if I keep it inside a folder or a sketchbook. But that will do it. So grab a cheap hairspray and some charcoal or some chalk and go play. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. Thank you, Scarlett. I don't have any wine, but I'm going to go and have a massive cup of tea and put my feet up. And yeah, I will take a photo of my hands. I feel like that should be commemorated. Look, this is what came from these hands. That's pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hugs back at you and to everyone. Have an amazing weekend. It's a bank holiday here, so we have a long weekend here, which is really cool. And I hope you join me again soon. I'll post this up for replay, so if anybody missed this in real time, then you'll be able to watch it again afterwards. And I even got brave and appeared on the other side of the camera at the beginning of this, so I might not watch it myself, but thank you so much for being here. Have a great weekend. Bye.